So there were some Dan Campbell quotes last week that we didn't have time for. It was actually Tigers opening day. And so we were pretty hot and heavy into Tiger discussion that day, taking your predictions and whatnot. But Campbell spoke to a select group of the media.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't everybody. So I've got a bunch of these quotes.
You feel left out?
I do.
Yeah, so do I.
As a station, yes. We feel left out, yeah.
Well, there's that.
Anyway, here's some of the quotes that Dan Campbell had. And I'm going to read these quotes, and you tell me, oh, he's talking about blank.
All right.
All right, you ready?
I am.
So this is, what do you want at number 2? Here's what Campbell said. You want a guy who can come in, and he's a day one starter. You'd like to believe by the time you hit your first game that this player is starting for you, and he's going to be able to produce. That's what he had to say about what he's looking for at number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So you start going through the process of elimination. Who would be a guy that wouldn't fit that? Wouldn't that, we'll cross off all the quarterbacks,
I
for
think
instance.
we cross off Malik Willis,
Yep.
or Kenny Pickett. Yep.
But with that said, who do you think he's talking about there?
I think he's talking about, it could be a number of people, but Thibodeau, certainly. I think Trayvon Walker is a guy who comes in and starts right away. I think Kyle Hamilton is a guy that comes in and starts right away.
I think Kyle Hamilton. When I hear that, I immediately think Kyle Hamilton.
I'm going Walker with that quote.
Wow.
Okay.
We're all over the board.
Well, you gave us 3 names. So which name are you going with?
I'll go with Tibbs.
All right. He's going Thibodeau.
Mr. Tibbs.
All right. By the way, everybody, just so they know, we provided what just happened. What Gator just said is playing way too big a role in why Gator hopes they take Kayvon Thibodeau.
What are you
thinks
talking
they might
about?
take Kayvon Thibodeau. Is he wants to say Mr. Tibbs.
I do want to say that.
Next up, position value.
Look, it's the Godzilla shirt, man. That's what's got me going.
He's in a goofy mood today, people. You never know where this show might go. Next up, he was asked about position value at number 2. This is Dan Campbell's quote.
Yeah.
Is the value worth it at 2? We don't care. All that matters is this dude, is he going to come in and play and help us? He's going to be a productive player for a long time in this league for us. That's what matters to us. When I hear that, I think Kyle Hamilton again.
Yeah, it doesn't change anything for me.
You're going Tibbs again?
Sure.
Mr. Tibbs?
Mr. Tibbs.
With that quote, I got Hamilton because of the position value. He says, screw the board. Whatever people say about you can't draft a safety that high, we don't care. He's going to be here a long time. Kyle Hamilton.
That's exactly what I get out of that.
See, the reason I stay with Mr. Tibbs is because he's a pass rusher, and I don't know if he's anything other than a pass rusher. So screw the value. He's not an every down guy, but he's going to be a game wrecker.
All right, now he's asked about quarterbacks. What about a quarterback? And here's what he says. Look, if you really love a guy, right? If you really love a guy and you know people are going to be all over him and the only way to acquire that guy is pick them where they're at, it's something worth thinking about, especially if you think you can develop those guys. So basically he's saying, if you love a guy, you take him at 2. When you hear that, first, this is a 2-parter. Does this make you believe he would take a quarterback?
No, it does not. And it's because the first word out of his mouth is look. It's almost like he's exasperated by it. He's like, I've already talked about what we're looking at. I've explained what we're looking at. Clearly a quarterback doesn't fit in there. However, let me just throw this out there to let everybody think that we could still possibly take a guy.
You think that once you hear the word look, once you hear the word look, you think he's that's the first telltale sign that, all right, I'm giving you a theory, but that's all.
I'm digging my feet in. I'll say what I'm going to say, but I've already said other things before.
The funny thing about this is I'm going to look at this comment and I'm going to say, yeah, it opens up the window a little bit, but when I combine it with the first 2, I think he's talking about Kenny Pickett because Kenny Pickett is closer to starting than Malik Willis. I think he's talking about a guy, he's already said in the previous quotes, and I didn't say combine all the quotes, but when I look at those previous quotes and couple them with this, I feel like they'd be talking Pickett more than Willis because Willis is considered more of a project, a long-term investment.
And yet, we've heard nothing linking Kenny Pickett to the Lions.
No, we have not. Kang, you think this means they take a quarterback?
No. But if they do, I think it's Willis. I know you're combining the first quote-ish. Yep. I'm not. I'm just going in right on this quote. But, yeah, you're right. Obviously, Pickett is more of the polished quarterback, you would say. So if you had to take one to start a game tomorrow, it would be Kenny Pickett.
Yep. And final quote from Dan Campbell when it comes to off-the-field stuff. Because people question Kayvon Thibodeau's commitment to the game. When he walked away from the combine before the day was done, I had people going, wait, what is that all about? Here's what he says. Let me say this. I don't care about the off the field. Like, does he love football? That's all I care about. Ultimately, I think that's all we care about is, man, if this guy loves football, then we can handle anything else. So I'm not concerned with things off the field when you know a guy loves football. Does that tell you they would take Kayvon Thibodeau?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I think it depends on, like, your definition of off-the-field stuff. But, yes.
I mean, off-the-field stuff with him is nothing nefarious. It's nothing criminal. Not. So I think there's a big difference. It's just, there's questions about his love of the game or his, having the constant motor. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. And you could work with that. I mean, the quote when he was actually asked about Kayvon Thibodeau, the player, he was effusive in his praise of the player with the explosiveness and all this, right?
Yep.
I think Thibodeau's the guy that they're looking at.